Hey everyone, welcome to Camppatton Family Compounds. It's time for the Monday night Fireside chat, and tonight's topic: winter heating costs are skyrocketing. And how's everybody doing out there? Man, it's Monday. I don't know what's going on here. I'm just looking at the number in here. We have some good loyal ones in here. Now we got to, just changed to 13 watching. Cool. How's everybody doing? So let me go back and review, say hi to everybody that's in there. All right. First one in was the Evil Twin. Then Troop 1351. They said PG&E is off the hook and going bandit on everyone. PG&E is Pacific Gas and Electric Company there in California. Then Uncle Al came in. Sheriff Rogers came in. And then CR came in. And everyone's talking. And then Joe, Garden State Gardener, came in. And he'll be back in 3 minutes. That was 4 minutes ago. And LG is in the house. Oh, and Uncle Al has a question here before we get going here. Why am I getting trans ads? I don't know. Who knows how the AI works at YouTube? Sometimes ads go out that are based on something in the wording of the program, like heating costs. I know over on Camppatton over here on YouTube, I was getting a heating ad. And now I froze. I need that heating ad. Okay, but it varies. You may have clicked on something inadvertently, and you're getting stuff on that for that type of stuff. Okay, let's see. Alicia's in the house, and let's see, everyone's talking to each other. Kaylin Strain is in the house. Gear Grinding 19's here. Hedgehog's Homestead. Hey, Laura. I will do my weigh-in tonight after the show. Matt and Sarah are here. Woohoo! Thanks, Al, for reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up button. Everybody's talking. Good. I'm trying to scroll down fast without missing anybody. Passamaquoddy's in the house. And it's jumping around. Granny Goose is here. And I'm down caught up. Granny Goose, every time I see your name on there, I think back to when I was a little kid, sitting in my grandmother's living room watching TV, and a Granny Goose potato chip commercial would come on. And it had, I can't not remember the actor's name for like Death Valley days, but my grandmother called him Mushmouth because he talked about how to run around his mouth. But anyways, WD Glock and Roll is here. Hey, Don. All righty. So I put the link out there on Courtney's, both on the group chat and the mod group. So, anybody has access to that, more than happy to do that. I'm going to drop the link here down below, since for those that are the usual suspects. And I think just about anyone here in the side chat can come up. I've seen so far. So if you're in the side chat and you want to come up here, not a problem. All righty, so let me get over here to sharing the skyrocketing costs here, and let's go to let's get into it. Yeah, and basically it's the cost of staying warm, but it's more than just you staying warm. If you're on a homestead or you have animals, it's the cost of keeping them warm as well, especially if you have goats, cows, pigs, whatever it is out there in the barns and stuff. You need to keep them warm too. So there's another expense to having the animals. And let's see. All righty. And hang on, let me check something on my other computer here real quick here. Okay, got that going. All right, just had to check something there. All righty, so and all right, heating costs increase. Yeah, it's bleeding blood there. Heating oil is supposedly going to be up 43% over last year. Natural gas is supposed to be up 30% over last year. Propane, 54%, and electricity, 6%. Unless you're in California, then electricity is up 87%. Not really, but it seems like it. My wife is just furious because also in the San Francisco Bay Area, they have this stuff called the Bay Area Air Quality Management District, which I'm not sure how it became an entity. Nobody voted on it. It just sort of materialized out of nowhere. And if anybody had voted on it, they would have voted it down. But they go around and they cite people for burning wood in their fireplaces. Yeah. They go, oh, you use electricity to heat your house, and you can't burn wood because it's bad for the air. And it could be in the middle of a storm where there's air is absolutely crystal clear, and they say, oh, it's bad for the area right now. So anyone from California knows about the San Francisco, about the Bay Area Air Quality Management Board, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. Don't hold off on that though. My heat source here, primary heat source, is wood as well. Yeah. It's some sort of a scam, but it's become a government agency that and I blame Jerry Brown. All right, next slide here, going in here. All right, so each one of these lines, the first line is 2016, 2017 winter, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20. My internet's been acting up. Uh-oh, I hope it didn't die. Okay, I'm back on that one there. My internet's been acting up really weird, and it just sort of likes to kick me off. All right, so 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Their numbers don't match up to what they have listed down below to the number of columns, but the last column is supposed to be last year's 21, 22 winter for the cost of heating, and for the different areas. And the map shows, which states are in what zone and everything else. I find it kind of interesting that for the South, they have West Virginia, Maryland, which are cold states. I was down in the middle of and Al's trying to come in here. I was down in the middle of West Virginia one winter, and the snow was like 3 feet deep. I mean, that is not the South. That is the Northeast. So, anyways, So they got that. This is what some companies have put, or agencies have put out. So when it comes to your heat, what are you using heat with? Are you using fuel oil? We already talked about electric and natural gas. There's a lot of people back east, I guess, in the north Midwest use fuel oil. There's propane as well for those that are out on homesteads generally. Hey, Michelle P's in the house, and Wendy at Hardneck Farms has come in. Janice, Where to Begin Homestead, and Jay's in the house.
Yep.
Who else snuck in here behind my back here? Q's in the house.
Yep. And you got Where, right?
Yeah, I got Where to Begin. Janice, Where to Begin Homestead. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, and so, but here's someone posted their bill for Brewster, New York, They blacked out their address. I'm going to zoom in on here. All right. So monthly, this was April this year. Their bill was $973. Yeah, I would be highly ticked off too. And so,
but they got a discount for $4.79.
I'm not. No, I don't. Yeah, okay, maybe. Balances for miscellaneous charges. Now, PG&E, you'd have you come in there like that, and it says miscellaneous charges. You'd have about 12 lines of crap that PG&E keeps sticking in there.
So does Southern Edison too.
Yeah.
And you have to fight with them because I was paying somebody else's bill that I went down on Southern Edison, and I yelled at them, "What's line 13? Oh, we don't have a line 13. I'm being billed for line 13 for $60 this month. Oh, we made a mistake. You're going to get a $60 refund, Mr.
Yeah.
Gil knows what I'm talking about. They pull this stunt every time.
Oh yeah, the PG&E because PG&E did some shenanigans and were putting money behind a ballot measure under the name of somebody else, trying to get this ballot measure passed so that they could allow PG&E to purchase green electricity from these other companies, most of which are owned by PG&E already. And then they jack up with these higher, delivery charges from this guy to our lines, just enormous amounts. And it's like, delivery charges, there is no delivery charges. You plug it in and it flows naturally.
Right.
Yeah.
I got to say hello to Bubba. Hi, Bubba. Shalom.
Yeah.
That's the redneck.
Yep. Redneck, Jewish redneck prepper.
Yep.
All right. So anyway, that's one that someone had there from up in New York. Hey, you want to talk about firewood? I love this. Somebody was out there, people were saying what a cord of wood was, and I guess in this town, and they were saying it was smaller than what it was. And so someone put it out there, this is 1 cord of wood. Trying to say it was 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot. And anyways, yeah. And so they put that out there. So there are some shenanigans going on what a cord of wood is.
Yep.
This one is, I like this, firewood pickup. In other words, you pick it up and load it yourself. This is you doing the work from this pile. Half a cord, $999.90. Quarter of a cord, $129.90. 10 cubic feet, $59. 6 cubic feet, $39.
And if anybody watches Gil's shorts and videos on him moving a cord of wood, how many cords did you move, Gil?
All right, I bought 6 cords. I got 5.5 moved before my knees and back gave out on me. But the other stuff will dry. Like it got rained on, but it's already drying out, and it'll take probably a week of no rain, and it'll be dry again. So then I'll start pulling some wood from that, bring it in the house, and let it finish drying out in the house. But look at these ridiculous prices. This is not delivered. This is you picking it up. So yeah, there's some ridiculous ones. There was I forgot to. I was going to put the caption on. I found this one here. This was 5 cords of firewood, $2,000 delivered.
Dump truck included.
No, the dump truck not included.
Not included?
Not included. They just they back it in and they dump it.
Oh God.
Yeah. All right. Here's something that most people don't realize. All right. When you're buying wood, the heat values for a cord of wood for the different types. Oak is 29 BTUs, in millions of BTUs. hickory is 28, apple is 27, walnut, and this is wrong on the walnuts, it's 22.
Right.
That would be white English walnut. Now, if you get black walnut, the black walnut is up comparable to hickory or oak. Because that black walnut is a real hardwood and it's a hot wood. We used to burn that. Birches says 21, cherry 21, ash and elm 20, pine 17, cedar 13. However, they forgot the big boy. All right, so the oak is 29, and there's different types of oak too. Eucalyptus firewood, 34.5 BTUs. And that changes too, because my brother used to have a landscaping company. He used to take down eucalyptus trees. And all right, so when they take down eucalyptus trees, they would split it within 2 weeks. Otherwise, It starts getting harder than a horse heart in the middle of January.
Right. Because Gil knows what I'm talking about. Eucalyptus, its fibers tighten up so hard and dense, worse than oak.
It's like steel. It's like trying to split steel.
Right, because I had at one time take out an old dead eucalyptus tree. Had to use dynamite. That's how tough it is, folks.
Yeah. My brother had a 6-ton little log splitter. Was trying to split some eucalyptus and it bent the frame. My dad built a 57-ton log splitter. Massive thing. The blade on it was 12 inches tall. And that thing had a tough time splitting the oak after it had been sitting for a year. The eucalyptus.
Right.
Now we noticed though that the eucalyptus, it says seasoning time 12 to 18 months. Well, at 6 months it burns pretty daggone hot. At 18 months it burns a lot hotter.
Right.
At 2 years, 2.5 years, oh man, you put just a small piece in there, and you get chased out of the house from the heat.
Right. Folks, you got to understand, when you buy a cord of wood, you have to make sure how long it's been seasoned. And pine and cedar. And there was another one. You have to be really careful because of the sap and resin. Yeah. That's why you clean your chimneys every year.
And if you have anything that looks like it's what a lot of these prepper channels talk about, fat wood, you don't toss that in.
No.
Maybe a small little piece about the size of a tennis ball to start the fire, and that's it.
Yeah.
Eucalyptus does kind of smell like the eucalyptus oil. It's really kind of sweet, and it has kind of a medicine smell to it when it's only about 6 months cured. All right, next thing I got here, I think this is the end of it. That's the end of it.
Right. On eucalyptus, folks, Gil remember the Oakland fires?
Oh.
Okay.
Man.
Oh. Fresh eucalyptus leaves has a volatile oil. That's what LG was asking, why it smells like eucalyptus.
Yeah.
That's the oil. Unfortunately, in the summertime, when the Oakland fires occurred in, was it September, October, with the winds?
Oh, all right. It wasn't so much the winds as the fact that it had never burned up there for 15 years.
Right.
You had a bunch of new housing developments going on up there, and the idiots never cleared their property.
Right. That was the big problem. He froze.
The eucalyptus trees had not been trimmed in 20 years. And when it went up like someone dropped one of those fire retardant tankers, air tankers. Only instead of fire retardant, it was dropping gasoline. It just went whoosh, and it was scary as all get out. And it was really bad. Eucalyptus trees were literally exploding like someone strapped 5 pounds of C4 on it, and the embers were just flying, and pieces were flying everywhere, and the fire just spread. It was insane.
Right. Over in Stockton, they had the same problem on I-5. That's the only time I-5 was closed because they had a row of windbreak of eucalyptus.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the city council of Stockton says, we don't need to clear out that or trim the trees. They did this every year before the Democrats came in. And the Democrats, we saved $2 million on this. We don't need to do it. So they left it alone for 10 years. And guess what happened after the 10 years?
It caught fire.
Oh, yeah. You could see the fire from one end of Stockton to Lodi, 14 miles away. That's
Hey,
how big.
Courtney.
Hi, Courtney. That's how
Yeah.
big the flames were.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the house and I-5, if you had a house next to I-5, I'm still sorry for you people because they lost everything. Exploding, like Gil said, exploding eucalyptus tree, and your house is near the freeway. Hi, Christine. And guess what happened to the house?
Yeah, a lot of the houses uh, had wood shake roofs on them, and all the stuff landed on the wood on the roofs. Up they went.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was like, what's the highest level for fire department? Because we got fire department from Oakland. It was so bad.
Yeah. I think it's a 5 alarm fire.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Because I never seen fire trucks from like Modesto, Oakland, Lodi, and I was doing a security job and said, hell no, I'm not going over there. That
Yeah.
store is gone. Bye. I'm going home.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's get back on topic here. So eucalyptus is a really hot wood. If you can get it and it's already split, you're going to have a good heat for the winter. But
big time.
Unfortunately, it doesn't grow back. It might grow back east in like the Carolinas, parts of Kentucky or Tennessee, but it doesn't like it too hot, and it doesn't like it freezing. Right. So that's why Northern California, Central California is ideal for it, and it was imported from
Australia,
and it's great, and it's like, oh yeah, it was for a little bit because they wanted fast growing windrow trees for wind blocks. And it got out of hand there in the state. Anyways, so if you're back east though, oil costs are projected to go up a certain amount. Some economists are looking at things and say, they're going to probably go up a lot more than that because they're looking at problems with the railroads delivering the fuel oil in the tankers. They're looking at problems with getting truck drivers to deliver it. And so there's going to be all sorts of problems, added problems in getting the fuel oil.
And one more problem
to people. So if you don't have your fuel oil already and you have fuel oil, you best be scrambling trying to get it. Because in about another month, forget it. It's going to be, it's going to go up probably another 50% on you.
Right. Because people are already fist fighting over fuel oil. And the big thing is we lost 6 refineries. Gil, I think it was on 3 live streams ago. You were talking about the refineries suffering damage from the hurricane. They still haven't fixed Ohio.
I'm not sure how many refineries are hurt. I remember hearing that 1 or 2 platforms were slightly damaged. And I haven't heard anything else on how fast they would fix it or not. Got a question here. No, not really. They might do okay in Western Washington and Oregon.
Froze again.
Yeah. Okay. So it might be okay. But when you get to Eastern Washington and Oregon and Eastern California up in the Sierras, no, they will not grow up there. When you have long months of freezing, it kills them.
Yeah. It's like a semi-tropical plant. It likes Mediterranean or warm climate. It does not like moisture like Florida. They tried planting eucalyptus in
Yeah,
Florida.
it doesn't like Florida, the Gulf Coast states within so far of the coast. You get farther up there where it's a little bit drier, up into the Carolinas and stuff, and it can make it through there. Texas, areas of Texas that would grow good in.
Arizona, same thing, and also New Mexico. It has to have moisture.
Yeah, it's gotta have water. If there's water there for it, it'll grow so long as it doesn't freeze.
Right. But northern Arizona freezes, and so does northern New Mexico. So it's closer to the Mexican border.
All right. The other day I did a live stream talking about, and I showed the propane. Brought in my little buddy from the other room, and the filter for it, so you can run it off of the barbecue size. Excuse me, the Barbie's white propane tanks.
25 or 5 gallon.
The 20 pound or the 30 pound, which is the 5 gallon or the 7.5 gallon. Let me check something here real quick here for Christy. And I'm going to see what the price currently is on this for her.
Little buddy for
No,
Walmart.
not that heater.
The generator.
Propane filter.
No.
Yeah, the filter, because that, she's want to use one of those things. She wanted a 5 gallon tank. Dang, it's already going up.
How much?
Okay, it's Mr. Heater's up to $16 there. Some of the other ones are different prices. But any of these here will work for it. They just a little while ago. It was 2 weeks ago. I think they were like $7.95.
Right.
When I showed it on the live stream. So they've about doubled in price since the cold weather has hit everywhere. They jacked up the price.
Right. And folks, on the on the hoses, they don't last too long. You have to have the filter, and every season check your hoses. You don't want to what's that smell? And all of a sudden, Mr. Buddy
one of the problems with the hoses are the non-Mr. Heater ones. They're like, this one says compatible with, but it's not a Mr. Heater hose. The process of making those, they use oil to lubricate the machinery, and it penetrates the rubber of the hose, and it bleeds out into the propane gas, and that plugs up the Mr. Heater Buddy heaters. That's why you need to have one of these filters on it to pull the oil out of it. If you have a Mr. Heater hose like this one here, it's made without using oil in the process.
And it doesn't rot because
it's a little bit more expensive, but it'll last twice as long.
Right, because the oil, when they manufacture it, it causes the brain freeze.
The hose to break down. Yeah.
Yeah, big time. So don't smoke when you do this.
So, Christy, I don't know if you're using the green canisters or the. Oh, there we go. Hook up a 20 pound. Yeah, but need another for the heater. Yeah. You're gonna be looking around. You can look around for some hoses here. Like I said, the Mr. Heater hose, the 10-foot one, is $32. The other brands are ranging $21 down to $24 with a filter on it. So since that one comes with a filter on it, that might not be a bad deal with the price of these others. So for 1 year.
Another question underneath that one.
Yeah.
About refilling. They had that brass one thing. One down.
We just did that the other night when Bob was up here. Bob on the live stream refilled one from his propane tank. He has this attachment right here, and he refilled a bottle in about a minute. or less, and he filled it, and he's been doing it for a long time. So
on your shirt, what did we talk about on the seals?
about what now?
Remember we were talking about testing the seals. I'm doing the old method. I dunk the whole thing.
Okay. If you have older green bottles and you refill them a couple times, when you refill it, you may want to take one drop of olive oil, or just put it on a Q-tip and rub it inside there to coat it to see if that seal's still good. If it's not good, you'll see a little bubble there. You don't want to put water in there because water will cause the unpainted surface of the metal to start rusting. Homestead Aquarius. Hey, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Yeah. Kanan saw that too. Let's see here. There was something else up here.
Hi, Mary Beth.
Okay. Not true anymore. All right. The little buddy, maybe, but the my buddy, the one that is
the big buddy,
not the big buddy, just the regular buddy, which is come on. It's trying to bring it up. This one here has a sensor on it, so it will shut down if the O2 levels drop too much. You get too much carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide in the air, and that will shut down. Now the little buddy, which is a little small one. So let me see, just to show you guys, so we don't get a little buddy heater here. This one here, bring it up, does not have the oxygen sensor on it. That one you want to be a little more careful. But if you have your your smoke detectors that have carbon monoxide on them besides just smoke, and or if you have the just the plug-in ones that you plug into the wall that have batteries on it, so they'll run on the battery when the power goes out for carbon monoxide detection. That helps out too. Let's see here. Trying to catch up to that stuff here.
Mary Beth and Vita is here. Yeah, Vita. Hi.
Okay. Hey, Mary Beth. And let's see here. I'm just scrolling down, trying to catch up in the side chat for questions and stuff.
Right.
Hey, buddy. How you doing? How's the gaming going? Okay. Good question. The buddy heater. Let's go back one to the this one here. Sean in Alaska is the name of the channel. SEAN in Alaska. This is what he uses to heat his camper that he's been living in for the last couple of years. And he has the 5-pound bottles in there with it. So he heats his, up there in Alaska, he heats his home with one of these. And he's been doing it for years. He just hooks on the instead of the let's see here, instead of the green canister going on there, he hooks the other one. I'm going to do something here. Give me a second, folks. I'm going to look for it.
I prepared for eternity.
Hang on, let me see if I pull up the right one here.
Let's see.
Let's see, is this the one? I think this may do. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is the type setup that Sean in Alaska uses. And so he's got the filter, he's got the hose, and he's got the tank. And this is the big buddy. I think he has just the regular buddy. But it's easy to hook up. There's the drawing. There's the photo of it hooked up. So this, yeah. Do you know who tells you that? the natural gas companies. So long as you test your tank and it's not leaking, you can have it inside to run one of these.
Right. In Europe, they do it all the time.
Yeah. And, like I said, Sean and several other people up in Alaska, they've been doing it for years. But they also test their tanks to make sure everything's copacetic and there's no leaks on it, and it's good like that.
Right. High horse for Katie and high suburban hillbilly.
Hey, Brother Donnie, it's Prep for Eternity Homestead.
Yep.
Horse fan Katie, hey, and Suburban Hillbilly. I'm catching up here. All righty. So let me go ahead and switch back from that to here. So for me, I have a Mr. Buddy as my backup in case something happens where I can't burn wood. Last year, before I got the directional weather cap on my chimney, I was having problems with the smoke being blown back down in because the screen on it was plugging up on the leeward side, and so it's catching the smoke and forcing it down into my house. And so for a couple times, I just, when it was really windy, I wouldn't burn a fire. I just run the Mr. Buddy for a little bit. So that's my first backup. My second backup is the most expensive. This house does have an electric heater or electric furnace. Cha-ching, cha-ching,
Yeah, I know.
cha-ching. Back 20 years ago when Brandon first bought it, actually 22 years ago, he ran the electric furnace for 1 month. $513, he said. He immediately got a load of firewood and started using the wood-burning stove that came with the place, the little cheap one. And since then, he had upgraded twice. But yeah, so for here right now, wood is ours. I'm paying about $200 a cord delivered.
No, that's a good price.
That's not a bad price, and it's a mix of wood. Some of the wood, I go to pick up a piece of it. It's like, light wood. This will be kindling starter. 20-inch piece, about that big around, whatever. Go to pick up another one the same size. Like, holy moly, what the heck? This thing weighs a ton. And seriously, it's a piece of hard wood.
Right.
And you can tell it's loaded.
And
it's
remember,
like, okay, this will be the one I toss in at night before I go to bed, and I shut the dampers and everything down, and it'll still be burning in the morning.
Right. Hi, Weber.
Hey, Weber Homestead. How's it going?
But Gil, remember when Gil picks up these woods for his videos, these are seasoned woods, not green. Seasoned.
No, not necessarily.
They're not seasoned?
They're seasoned from the summertime. That's why I get it at the end of the summer. But okay. Some of this wood has been seasoned, like 6 months or so, 9 months. Yeah, there has been a few pieces that overwintered from before, but this tree cut, the guys that get it from, they cut down trees and they just start cutting down, and they spread it out so it starts drying and seasoning quick, and they spread it out thin. They say, yeah, we spread it out. The first one's thin, so it starts drying, and then they start pushing the stuff up into piles and stuff. Because they said usually for the first 4 months of spring, summer, nobody buys any firewood. So they get a chance for it to dry out quicker and season better.
Yep.
But everything I got, burns fairly well. There have been a few pieces that I can tell were a little green, but when I toss those in on top of hot coals with some dry, other seasoned wood, burns just fine. Because, hey, forest fires aren't seasoned wood.
Right.
They just need, once they get the heat to them, the green wood will burn hot. All right. Let's see here. Let me get back to that.
To heating. Don't forget about your barn animals like horses, cows. Froze.
Okay, hang on a second here. YouTube's taking away wrenches again. All right, there you go, Wendy. You got your wrench back.
Good. Hi, Tim. Tim Fergles here. Yeah, YouTube's doing that, folks. And if you're experiencing the little circle, we have to watch it because the AI is on. So watch. You can't say anything. The country between Mongolia and Japan.
Don't even go there. I got a worded thing out for that.
Yeah.
At this time of the year, with the something coming up, with the big event coming up prior to Veterans Day, social media is on the watch for anyone that disagrees with what they believe or say anything about something which they deem to be a sensitive topic. So don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Figure it out from that.
Yeah, we just stick with firewood and heating our animals in the barn.
Okay, Q. And boom, there you go. Now, some of you have wrenches here that don't have it on Gray Man Prepping, and some have it on Gray Man Prepping that I missed you over here. So I try to get everybody caught up when I can.
Tim has a good question.
That's a big question.
Tim, right below.
Tim.
What moisture percentage is allowed for the
Yeah.
wood to be treated?
That is the $64 question, which changes because depending on what the moisture is. If the moisture is water, it's one thing. If that moisture is oils, for the saps and stuff, the oily wood, that's an entirely different animal.
Oh, and hi, Barry of Storms, Radios, and Cats.
Hey, Barry.
Yeah, they will. Sorry, we won't touch that subject.
Yeah.
But if you have farm animals like cows, because I help my nephew, we have kerosene heaters because we had an incident with a cow and one of our propane heaters.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Anthony. And Anthony's here. Kicking it, and we had to evacuate the barn and the cows.
Yeah.
So we went back to kerosene. It's a lot safer, folks. You don't have a hissing tank, and you're going, dear Lord, running out of the milking barn.
Yeah. One of the all right, question here for Anthony since he just came in. Well, how do you heat your house? What methods do you have for heating your house? And we got our treasure homestead. Our treasure home just came in. Yeah. Okay, so Anthony says below 20% for your moisture rating on it. Like I said, we've had some wood that was, quote, green, and it burned just fine. We took it down and it burned just fine. And we've had stuff that has cured for a year and a half, and it just doesn't want to burn. So until you have a real hot bed of coals to put it on.
Yeah, I said heat the animals in the barn, not eat the animals in the barn, folks. You have to take care of
if you got to get rid of them,
now, because those cows cost $5,000. Well, now $8,000 a piece. So I'm taking care of them.
All right. So I'm guessing Anthony does primarily his large wood fireplace, so he's not having to use the electric heat pumps as much as he can. One of the things now my wife is talking more favorably about is getting natural gas into the house now here. That way, when we go to replace the electric hot water heater, we can go with a tankless natural gas one like we have across the street in my daughter's house. That is absolutely the bomb. That's a rhetorical statement, YouTube AI. I wasn't talking about a real device. I was talking about, something really cool.
It's a flash fire water heater tank. It doesn't have a storage unit. What it does is it fills a small tank up and it heats the water for that use only.
What I have doesn't even have that. All it is like a radiator. And the radiator is actually the burn chamber.
No, that's good. We're not burning water, folks.
It just heats the
Coils.
the water real quick. Just heats it up as it goes through. It's really efficient at the gas. It's like we put in a new gas furnace over there back in January, and it's like a 98% efficient furnace over there.
Let's see. I'm reading the questions from
Right.
Anthony.
Waiting
and also,
for our water heater to die so we can get a on-demand heater. Yeah. Now the tankless one that is across the street there was probably the best thing in that house. And I'm not sure how long it was in there, but when we bought the house in 2016, there was no there was a water softener in there that was not hooked up, and so we don't know how long they'd been using that tankless heater without a water softener to take all the hardness out of it. And it took us about a year to realize, wait a minute, this thing's not hooked up, because we weren't up here. My daughter was up here, and they dumped a bag of salt in it, and that salt never went away. It's like, oh, guess what? It's not hooked up.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
But like I said, folks, heating your barn, you have to be careful. Do not do like this one guy did. I'll put a wood stove in a barn. Oh,
Yeah.
God. It's like it's a whole different animals. You cannot do that in a barn for large animals. It's like that propane.
If you do that, you have to have an area that is about 6 foot around it that is cordoned off, that nothing can get inside of. Basically, you build a fence around it or put it in its own stall,
Right.
So so nothing can get to it. Also, you got to make sure that around that area is kept clean of all straw.
Right, because remember, wood stoves give off sparks, and that's what you want. Sparks, a bunch of hay, dry timber, and animals roaming around. That's like, okay, I want the Chicago fire again.
Yeah. What now? One of the things the only smart thing my son-in-law has ever done was saying, hey, I did some research. This area is good for geothermal house heating. And then I did some more research, and but you got to go down 30 feet to do it. But this area can be good for geothermal, but it's also because you got to go down 30 feet and go through all these cobble rocks, dig down, and to put the system in, it's a pain and very expensive. Oh, no, I'm sorry. If it stayed at 40 degrees in here, I would not be showering till it warmed up. Now, one of the things we're also thinking about doing, getting natural gas put into the house here. For the shop, on the backside of the shop, we're thinking about putting in a 15 to 2,000 gallon propane tank, one of the big ones out there, and put a propane heater in the shop. Now, if we do that, we'll also make sure there's an electric wet leg on that tank. And what that means is it has an electric pump, and it pulls propane off the bottom, and it's so I can pump propane into the 20 and 30 pound tanks, your barbecue grill tanks, to refill them. And then if we need to, we would have that that propane as a backup for powering the Mr. Buddy or one of the other heaters here in the house. I can imagine real quick. It's almost like taking doing what's called I'm not going to say what my sister and mom used to call it, but doing a washcloth bath, hot water, wash, dry that part, Wash, dry that part. Wash, dry that part. All right.
Well,
Retrofit the fireplace except a wood insert. Yeah, exactly. The house we had in California was built in 1932. Had a brick fireplace, and when we replaced that with an insert, it was so much more efficient. But then, of course, the Bay Area Air Quality Management District started screaming at people for burning firewood, and it's like, fine. And we just took the fireplace out.
right. Folks, there are different kinds of fireplaces, like the Franklin stove and also the Russian stove. That's a different setup. It's not to be confused with a regular fireplace.
Yeah. Now, a friend of ours up the street, they just got a panel put, a steel panel across the fireplace opening, and had the fiberglass rope on the backside, and just bolted it into it, and then farther up on the fireplace, they cut into the stonework and slipped the pipe in, and came out, and they had a pellet stove put in front of it, and they kept their whole house toasty warm on that pellet stove. And it was downstairs, and there was kind of a split level house and stuff, so it was down in the lowest part, so all the heat rose up through all the rest of the house.
Now, I've seen a Russian fireplace. You have to see one of those. These things are amazing. It's like the whole one corner of the house, that's the fireplace. It's not like a little section of corner or something. It's part of the house. It's like maybe 2 tons of bricks, and it has a baking oven next to it. So once you built the fire for the day, it keeps you warm. Outside, it might be 20 below zero. Inside the house, it's nice and warm. And that little oven door on the side, it's always about 320. Yeah. So you could bake anything or cook anything in there. Yeah. It's pretty neat.
All right, Brother Donnie has a question here. Does the deep footage geothermal depend on your area of the country? Yes. Some areas geothermal is close to the surface. Other areas there's practically no geothermal. But example, I've showed the footage before of the retired postal worker in Kansas who dug down 8 feet and put in several 75-foot runs of 6-inch pipe down, and that was enough to keep his greenhouse and his house at 65 degrees. Some areas, if you put it in, you don't have to do a long run. You just go down, go over about 20 feet and back up again, because the ground there is warm because the geothermal is closer to the surface. If there is a lot of groundwater movement, and the groundwater is 65 degrees, or so, you can drop 2 wells. You pull from one well and you return the water through the other well. Make it a closed system to the ground. That's another type of geothermal as well.
Right. Barry says this stove is a combo coal and wood stove. I have a friend of mine who lives in Austria over there, and the government's giving out wood. And I told him, you live near a horse farm and they have farriers there. Go ask them if they could sell you bags of coal they use for horseshoeing. Yeah. And he got, I told him this in the summer when it's still warm, and he bought every bag of farrier coal for his stove. So he's set for the house, because guess how much in euros they're selling, like little bundles of wood.
Yeah. Now, on some of them, some companies won't tell you about one of the retrofit possibilities. Depending on how big of the flue is for the chimney, if it's at least 6 inches diameter, they can run a flexible 6-inch pipe down in, all the way down in, and then they'll seal it up at the bottom, and they'll pour mortar around it. A lot of companies don't like to tell people about that, because that's so much cheaper than tearing out the fireplace and rebuilding. But yeah, there's my in-laws' place in Fremont. And my in-laws' place in Fremont, they ran a pipe down and did that there and ran it down in. They had to cut out a section it down, decent size. So when the pipe came down, they put a 90 on it and then boarded it all up under, poured mortar in around it, mortar coming out to it for they have a big, huge Wolf stove, and they put a big old hood over it just for using the old chimney as the vent for the stove. But they could still, they also put they did some stuff there so they could, in the dining room, if they wanted to, put in a wood burning stove, but they never did.
Right. Anthony had a good suggestion on caulking your windows and doors. Don't forget weather stripping too.
Yeah.
If you haven't caulked your windows or doors yet, it's really easy. It's a tube, and you have the grease gun doohickey on it. Just put some beads out there, and you're fine.
Yeah. So I'm just catching up here. Yeah. And one of the things is, even if your windows have all been caulked and everything else, if your windows are on the north side of the house and you really don't open those up in the wintertime, add layers of blankets or whatever insulation stuff to insulate it so you're not losing heat out through those windows.
Right. Hard Knack Farm, Wendy says they use bubble wrap. Let's see. It's 3 down. They use bubble wrap for the middle layer of above ground greenhouse.
Yeah. Okay. I'm still going through stuff here, catching up on it. Yeah, there's the bubble wrap.
You could use that on windows. You could also use space blankets. You could use moving blankets. You want to retain the heat.
Yeah. Now, interesting thing when it comes to campers and trailers and stuff, depending on how wide it is, sometimes and how everything's vented, I've seen people take and they get a load of straw, bales of straw, and they straw all the way up under all around it, and they'll lay boards across from the pile to pile so it's above the roof, and they'll lay bales on top of that too, and then they'll put a tarp over that to keep the top bales dry.
Right. But folks, again, do not smoke when you do this.
Yeah. And you got to make sure of ventilation, what sort of form you're heating the camper with. You got to make sure there's plenty of ventilation. And Anthony is definitely right. There are several companies that make triple pane. I used to watch This Old House, both with Norm Abrams and I just lost it. The other guy's name, the one that did New Yankee Workshop, and he took it over for a while. And up there in New England, they always went with Anderson triple pane windows when they were rebuilding the house, wood frame windows.
And you want the hay to be dry, Anthony.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I said put a tarp over it so the straw doesn't get wet. Oh, yeah, that's right. Bob Villiard was the first one. Norm Abrams was the second one. Norm Abrams was New Yankee Workshop. Hey, it's been about 8 years since I watched either one of them.
I thought you said 20. Only 8?
Yeah, it's been about 8 years since I've watched either one of them.
Okay.
Let's see. If you are using fuel oil to heat your house, check around you might be able to get some recycled oil or waste oil and just get it filtered enough where it'll work on your system. Some systems they have to add extra filters in there on the system to make sure all particles are removed from the waste oil, so it doesn't plug up and it continues to work. But waste oil,
froze again.
yeah, waste oil furnaces are a lot cheaper to run than regular fuel oil furnaces.
Right, because it's I forget, it's the nozzles.
The nozzles, yeah, it has a pressure spray nozzle, and you got to keep that clean.
Right.
All right. When if you checked one of my older videos from 2 years ago,
I thought it was 3.
I had a travel trailer across the street, and I had bales of straw halfway up around it, and it helped quite a bit in keeping that trailer warm. I had the areas cleared off for where the away from the little propane furnace it had in there, but yeah, it helped out quite a bit.
Now, if you're in the warmer states like California or where I live, a lot of people are tinkering with solar heaters. You have to be careful. There's 2 kinds. There's the Gil knows what I'm talking about, the air and water kind.
Yeah. Oh, there's also with the water kind, they're experimenting with using not water. It's not an oil because they're trying to keep it green. It's that they mix that antifreeze that's for campers and trailers for for winterizing them into the fluid, so I'm not sure what all they're adding to it, but that's to basically to make it more efficient than just plain water for transferring the heat.
Also, it has a storage tank to store the heated fluid for the nighttime use.
Yeah.
The air one, they're having big problems with it because you can't store hot air. I keep telling you that to people. Those types.
I don't know. There's a certain political person if I bring in here, I'll have plenty of all the hot air I want at night.
I know, but
that's as far as we go on politics.
Yeah, we'll get in trouble. But the trouble with the air space heaters, they've been doing for years to try to heat rocks, and they had big cylinders. Unfortunately, you don't want to have a barn silo full of hot air to heat your little house that has 2 rooms, because they did that. And I'm like, the heat silo is bigger than your house, but the the solar collectors are kind of small. They're like 5 kind of domey things on top of the roof. You'll know what I'm talking about. It's all over the Bay Area. Unfortunately, when they tested it after 5 years, wasn't that efficient. It was like, what, 52?
Yeah, some of them, the first ones they put out there lost a lot of efficiency almost immediately. Hey, Barry, you're going to hate me. In one of my first videos when I was talking about alternative emergency fuels for oil lanterns and stuff, I showed my 55-gallon barrel of kerosene that I bought years ago. I paid $49 for that 55 gallons of kerosene, and it's still half full.
Yeah, after that, I got my own 55-gallon, and I only paid like $59 a gallon. Sorry.
And Anthony just came up with a great point here. If the power goes out, you don't want to heat your entire house, you can close off certain rooms, your bedrooms, and have everybody move into a common room, set up tents in the living room, whatever. Be careful, though. Know where the water lines are traveling in your walls and in the floors and stuff. You're not going to want to, if you have multiple bathrooms, you're not going to want to shut off the bathrooms. You want to keep those doors open because you're going to need to keep those water lines in those rooms from freezing.
Right. Remember that one live stream where you showed that video of the toilet with the water and the garage all?
Oh yeah, the garage. There's one where the water line's broken in the garage, and they didn't realize the water line was broken, and there's ice everywhere. The cars are embedded in ice. Yeah,
It was more funnier with the toilet, folks. Have a nice little ice fountain coming out of the toilet.
yeah. Um, yeah. The other thing to remember too is that you need to get carbon monoxide detectors, carbon dioxide detectors, and oxygen sensors so you can see what's going on. Hang on. I got this on this one here? Yes, I do. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the slideshow here from a couple weeks ago. And it's the different ways of hooking up tanks and stuff. But get down here. Oh, these you need to have. If you have these in your house, you need to have sensors. And so you have your smoke alarm that has the smoke and carbon monoxide on it. Carbon monoxide. I have a couple of these that I plug into the outlet. They got NiCad or nickel metal hydroxide batteries in there that charge up, and when the power goes out, they still work. And you can get other ones. You can also get a multi-gas meter, and you can set it to it'll read oxygen, it'll read carbon dioxide, it'll read carbon monoxide. Some of them will also detect gases like propane, natural gas, butane, stuff like that in the air. And some of these you can set where it cycles through and sniffs everything, and the screen just cycles and it locks on anytime there's an anomaly.
Yeah, and those are really good. Where did you get this one?
I just pulled this off when I was looking at it, but Gas Lab Plus. Gas Lab is used by a lot of companies. The construction company that my brother and I used to work for years and years ago had several of these, and they would use these also for going down in manholes. They lower it down in the manhole and wait a few minutes. Okay. And then someone would go down in there with the bigger rig, hang the bigger rig down on the ladder with the hoses to get a better test, and then they start running their stuff for going down in some of the big. We're talking the manholes that go down to a 5 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot diameter sewer pipe.
Right. I think somebody asked the question, where do you buy this?
All right. Hang on a second, and let me do my see if I can bring it up here. All right, here.
Yeah, Christy, on oil lamps, you want to change your wicks every year. And because if you leave them in the lamps, they'll rot out.
CM505. CM501. Okay, the 501 is just a carbon dioxide. Let me see the 505.
Is it CM505? CM-505.
Yeah. And so, okay, several big companies. Gas Lab themselves. And these are not cheap. These are the good ones. They're about $300.
Yeah, these are industrial, not from Home Depot.
Yes, these are the ones that carry you live or you die guarantee.
Right.
There's different ones here. Let me see if I can find this here somewhere else here. Just see where else I can find. If I look up this way here. Wrong one.
Hi, Michelle.
Shopping. Wow. Yeah, the prices fluctuate. The 507 goes up as high as 579. But there are other models around too. And let me look in here.
Hi,
all right, here we go.
Hi, Howdy Garden.
Hey, Glenn, how's it going? All right, here's a small handheld one, carbon monoxide one. and gas detector, $36. There's a 361. You know, there's different ones here you can get. Yeah, carbon monoxide, carbon, you know, CO, yeah, okay, carbon dioxide starts going up. But yeah, thing is, so you can look around. You can do some shopping to try to find them, you know,
right,
at better prices.
Right, the most expensive one with that little cable thing for $1,700.
That's not the most expensive.
Right, that's for whatchamacallit, when you put in gas lines in your house.
Yeah.
If you're remodeling a house, I do recommend to get it, because a lot of people are like, I don't know what's that gas smell coming out from the basement. It's like,
okay.
Good God.
All right, let me just see what I find here.
Oh, hi, Idaho Garden Girl.
And CO2 detectors. CO detectors. Carbon, shoot, come on, where are they? Where's the multiple ones? Most of the ones that I can find on Amazon are anywhere from $16 to $35, and those are just carbon monoxide.
That's right.
3-in-1. Okay, there's a 3-in-1 here for.
Whoops, we lost Gil. He'll be back just a second, folks. Hi, everybody who came aboard. Hi, Mary Beth. Hi, Gear Garden, Gear Grinder, Rider.
My internet's losing its. Come on.
We didn't say anything. People of that country between Mongolia and
don't even talk about over there. Okay. All right. Hang on, I got all these friggin' notifications popping up. Oh, thanks, Joe. Joe made a little short video of us, Al. Okay, so this is carbon dioxide 3-in-1. There are some multiple ones you can find around, but yeah, you just got to do your own research, find out what you're willing to pay. Carbon monoxide and natural gas alarm. Okay.
So that one's a plug-in, right?
Hang on, let me see. So this is looks like a 2-pack. Yeah, plug-in. Yeah, so it plugs in. Come on, my internet just ain't liking this. Oh well.
We've been going for about an hour and 18 minutes.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to here. There we go. But you can do some research on what type you want to get. For me, I just have the carbon monoxide because my Mr. Buddy has the oxygen sensor built on it. This house, even, it leaks air around the doors. It leaks air in all 3 bathrooms. It leaks air in the kitchen through all the vents. The vents all leak air. So I have a changeover of air in here.
Right. He has a good system of air flowing.
Then my wood burning stove is drawing heat out, so it's drawing all this cool fresh air back in. So I got fresh air being drawn in.
Right.
Hey, Grammy Karen.
Hi, Grammy Karen. I had an argument on another live stream about heating a bomb shelter, and I'm telling him, how big is your exhaust vent and how big is your intake vent? And he said 3 inches. I nearly quit the live stream.
Yeah. Well, Al, the airflow on some of the new 3-inch and 4-inch ductwork is incredible.
True.
They've devised some really quiet fans, and like I'm putting one in right now. And, I'm filming it to basically it's to take from the up in the ceiling where the hottest air is in the house, draw it down and put it underneath the house to A, dry out under the house, B, warm all the pipes under the house so it don't get down below 40 degrees under the house, more like below 50 when I have the wood burning stove going on, and that heat will radiate back up through the floorboards at me.
I can't read too clearly what's on Anthony's trying to say.
Yeah.
Fuddy-duddy about burning fossil fuel creating carbon monoxide.
Yeah, not CO2, which is carbon dioxide. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, carbon monoxide is a lot like your is put off big time by your charcoal briquettes and stuff.
Right. And please do not heat your house with that.
No.
It's like I get headaches with the new preppers because I've been on a lot
All
of
right.
live streams.
Let me check something here before I step out of here on this. Go ahead and kill that one, that window, that window, that window.
Right.
And bring up. I got to check to see. I think Courtney's going live this afternoon. This evening.
I think so. A few minutes.
And she usually goes in 43 minutes.
Yeah.
Top of the hour. But I don't see the posting on it yet.
I thought you said she was doing like 10 Eastern because she's doing something for Poopoween.
Well, we did that last night.
Okay.
We gave the pre on that. She may be doing the drawing tonight for Poopoween. Yes, on White Family Farm, the drawing is tonight for the 3 people that are going to be carving the pumpkins in the pumpkin carving contest.
No, that's going to be fun.
I'm trying to see where the heck.
Oh, and other things. If you're doing the tea candle thing, put it in a turkey basting pan. You need about
Don't even do it. A candle will put out only so many BTUs, period, no matter what crap you put around it.
Right. Especially those flower pot things don't work. But if you want to cook something, I did it. It takes about 100 candles, but it does cook a fried egg.
Yeah, it takes a lot of candles.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I mean 100 candles.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure why Courtney's going on at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, Eastern.
That was the one that she streamed last night. She put out a short 3 hours ago. A short about it. Oh no, Garden State Gardener did it. So yeah, she should be doing it here. I'm not sure why it's not popped up yet. Because usually I can see it says notify me, and I can't find that. Let me go in
Everybody's
here.
having trouble with notifications.
Yeah, it's not even. Hang on here, and everything's just dragging really bad here. I'm just checking to see if she's posted it on the.
I don't have it, but somebody knock off Past 16 Fun. That's a Russian. Whatchamacallit?
Yeah, someone got it. CR nailed it.
Yeah, that's a Russian.
Yeah.
What they call those things?
Okay, good. All right, CR hit him. Good. All right. So.
Because it's a chat bot.
Yeah. All right, folks. We're gonna wrap it up here. So, yeah, in half an hour, go over and check out see if White Family Farm has it up yet. I haven't even seen her post the link. Usually, she posts it in her the mod chat group she has, and I'm not seeing it in there right now either. So. I'll just give her a jingle, find out if she, when it's supposed to start here. All right. And I'll see y'all later. Tomorrow night on Gray Man Prepping at 10 o'clock Eastern. The topic is build your skill bank. All right. And that was recommended by, he basically was inspired by Rachel Knight you've seen her in the side chat sometimes. And so we're going to be talking about building your skill bank tomorrow night on Gray Man Prepping at 10 o'clock Eastern. All right.
Okay, folks.
See y'all later.
Bye now.